the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters out there. Good morning, good Monday morning to you. Welcome back. Hope everybody out there had a great, fantastic, outstanding, unbelievable weekend. I know I did. And again, thanks for joining us. If you're listening in on the West Coast, out in Spokane, thanks so much for getting up early or continuing to listen to this station and listen to us, folks. You can always watch us on TigerTV. Shows coming to you live from the TFN radio and television network. Now, you can obviously pick it up on your mobile devices, which is great. So if you're on your way, if you're commuting into work, you know, it's 9 a.m. and, be safe out there. You can listen to us that way. Pretty soon, you're going to be able to watch us live on Tiger TV on your mobile device. And that is a very, very cool thing. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com, if you would, and click on Tiger TV. You'll be able to see this show live. 85% of what your brain takes in is through visualization. Now, some of that visualization, doesn't actually, can actually be mental preparation of what you actually visualize in your mind. But I want you to go to Tiger TV. I want you to be able to look at our screens, look at my screen, be able to perhaps learn something today. Maybe receive a lesson, if you will, on some pattern recognition. We'll go take a look at sacred geometry numbers like 382, 0.618, 0.786. We'll take a look at some expansions because the world is always contracting and expanding. It's always breathing. Now, quite a weekend out there. I was thinking about, last week, kind of the theme of my show was really about, having a success strategy where you win 100% of your time. And that's really about learning how to fail. And that's where the power of one or the power of 1% comes in. I really focus on the power of one. And so when I thought about this week's, maybe dialogue, if you will, and so much of it was really just shaped about, around the weekend. Time absolutely flies. And I'm not going to comment necessarily on Penn State, the situation going on there, except from the standpoint of how it really impacts each of us. And that is truly the power of one. And it's really all about decisions and how decisions shape your destiny. I had an opportunity this weekend to spend some time with my daughter up at the University of Florida and do some reading, if you will, always doing that, whether it's on my computer, it's on a newspaper, what have you, and just really the importance of the power of decisions. And if you go back and, you've heard me before talk about how decisions absolutely shape your destiny. Now, that's not a bad thing. That's not something to fear. It's something to actually truly take in and remember when you're making those decisions, they're not only impacting your life, they're impacting the lives around you. And so when you take a look at the decision-making process that went on over in Penn State, okay, and how one decision can take away so much good that someone has done in their life. When it comes to trading, one decision, such as going all in, okay, and putting everything at risk and not having to stop, can absolutely have an impact not only on your life, but all of the folks around you. So we don't do that. So if you're going to trade, if you're going to invest, doesn't matter whether you're trading or you're investing, you're always going to use a stop. And we always want you to be able to learn the power of money management. And in fact, folks, you can learn the power of that even more by the mere fact that Tom and I are going to be going around the country sometime after the holidays in January for the 3 cities that are the top performing cities with regard to purchasing the art of timing the trade. And so we're going to go ahead and part of our seminar that we'll do, part of our webcast, and it's free, it's included, and with the winners. And you can find out the details of that on the homepage of TFNN.com, and you absolutely should do that. And we want to be able to teach you the money game. I talk about that. But it's really about the power of decisions. If you go back and you think about where it is that you're at in life, good, bad, or indifferent, it's really because of the power of one. Most of the times, it's the power of one decision. Maybe it's one decision at a time. You're not making everything at one point in time. In your career, it could just simply be the path that you took to education. Sometimes, strange things happen. I remember meeting a guy, and I apologize, I can't remember his name, but he was going into the Army. Now, this guy actually became very, very big in the telecommunications business. So I kind of gave you the punchline here, if you will. But when he went into the military, you know, he had to pick a vocation. And because I remember talking to him, asking him how it was that he got to where he was. You know, and it was certainly about the power of one decision. Well, he was standing in line for something he actually wanted to do, but that line was really long. And he wasn't, I don't know about you, if you like standing in long lines. If you go to a restaurant and there's a wait, will you just drive on and maybe go to your second choice? You know, how are you with standing in lines? Well, in this case here, he was like most of us. And so what he did was, the short line at that time was in the telecommunications field. So he went for the short line. As it was, you know, we, the government, the military, what have you, you know, trained him, taught him a vocation. When he came out of the military, he went right into the telecommunications business, was in the right place at the right time because of the power of one decision. Sometimes a decision, if you will, isn't a decision where you've put a lot of thought into it. Now, he put the thought into it, if I don't want to stand in line, and so he just simply went over there and turned out to be a multi-millionaire in that industry. But it still shows you the power of decision. And so, you know, what I want you to do is I want you to be active with regard to your power of decision. I want you to put yourself in a peak state of mind. You know, you've got that beautiful, in my case, this beautiful spot. What I think is a beautiful spot. It's a metaphor for a number of different things. You know, I want to be rock solid, if you will, when I take a look at that in my decision-making process, in what it is that I might deliver to you, in what it is when I go take a look at charts and how I analyze the markets. And this week is a beauty. You know, I think I put together a really good newsletter and a really good analysis, rock-solid analysis. You know, this weekend's newsletter that I gave to, that I put out for my subscribers, my clients, it's got so much contained in it. And I'd really love you to have it. The easy way is to go over to the TFNN web page and sign up for the newsletter. You get it for free for 30 days. But it's got dates in there that you'll need to know for the next year ahead. It's a roadmap of important pieces of information. It's an analysis of the market, where we've come from and where we're going to. Folks, if you don't know where you've come from, how do you know where you're going to? And so, you know, if there's a power of decision, you know, even if you were going to go over there and sign up for it and you knew 30 days later you weren't going to use it, go over there and do that, because there's enough information. This one is a beauty. And the reason was, is I started really thinking about that power of one decision. And I wanted to be able to give some tools, give some information, give folks a different perspective on where we're at in the markets and why. And this one actually did. It was great for me. And so when you take a look at the decision process that you're in, and why do you do what you do, and the fact that decisions shape your destiny, it all really starts back with your focus. Because, you know, what you focus on, you feel. And what I've got up on my screen here is what I really believe is the holy grail of thinking, if you will. Why it is that you do what you do. And I talked about that a little bit last week. And I know it's a little bit deep, but you probably should take notes and you just write it down. And as time goes on and you take a look at it, because you always want to understand, why did you make the decision that you made? When it comes to trading, you want to understand why it is that you made the decision that you made. One of the coolest things is some of the feedback that I've received from listeners like you, and I love to get feedback. You can always reach me, Steve, at tfnn.com. You can, you know, call me in the office. And what I love is that I've got some folks that are actually journaling. They're actually journaling, and before they're putting on a trade, when they're identifying a trade on their own, or even if they're taking advice from one of the newsletter subscribers, whether it's Tom, myself, Basil, Larry, David, Ken Shreve, whatever advice it is they're taking, they're still writing down some journals. That's a good thing, because what they're doing is they're expressing their emotions. And your emotions, folks, are what really create your decisions. So when you think about it, it's really what you focus on, your feeling, and your feeling provides you with some type of meaning. You know, in my case there, I've got major meaning, as you know, with regard to where it is that I love to be. My state of mind, being over in Lanai, Hawaii. You know, there's some real heavy-duty emotion. There's some wonderful things have happened to me in my life where I had worked so hard to try to get so much business, went ahead and took care of myself. That was a power of decision. And while I was there, the universe decided to go ahead and actually give me what it was that I had envisioned and I had focused on. So that place has got tremendous meaning for me, because I can remember saying, how can this be working? I was working so hard, and finally the gift was given to me when I took a break and was standing in my favorite favorite spot, getting ready to hit a golf ball. And that's the way the universe works, folks. You've got to give yourself rewards. It means you have to give yourself gifts. It means that when, take a look at it like this, the power of decisions. How many folks out there, if you're going through a grocery store, Costco, maybe your grocery store on the weekend or what have you, and you've got those folks there that are giving away food, and they just simply hand it to you. How many folks will actually take that? It's free. You take that. You think it can't harm you. Now, some people are saying, hey, I'd never take anything in the public, don't know what it is, don't know what's inside it, but a majority of people will go ahead and take something like that for free. If somebody offered you a free meal, would you take that? Folks, it's the power of decisions. What we offer around here, we offer free trial services. In my case, I offer a free subscription, if you will, for 30 days. You're putting down a credit card for 30 days, folks. And yet the power of decision, how is it that if you're a person that says, I could take something for free as I'm going through a grocery store, but yet a decision that could impact your life, not just today, but for a long period of time, you want to understand these dates that I've got inside this newsletter. You absolutely do. So how is it that you can make a decision to take that, but not take this that has something that's more long-term, if you will? So you got to really I want you to put yourself in the peak state. I want you to go ahead and sit up and breathe and put your shoulders back. I want you to have the right frame of mind where you can make rock-solid decisions. If you don't have that place, think about it during the day. And when you're trading, folks, put down what it is that you're feeling, why you took that trade, and, start a little journal out here. So this is my favorite time of the day. I absolutely love being here with you. When we get back, we'll go take a look at the markets. You've got the Dows. Everything is pretty much flat. You got the Dow down about 10 points, the NASDAQ down about 5, S&P down about 5 as well. And we'll be right back, folks.
Look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi folks, Steve Rhodes here. Tom O'Brien and I need your help. Together, let's change the cash for gold industry once and for all. Now is the time to unleash the game changer, and that's you folks. We've all seen the power of viral marketing. It's overthrown dictators, and now it's time to rid the thieves in this cash for gold industry. Together, we can change this industry in a heartbeat. You know about our industry-leading payouts, our free tools, our video valuation, and the education that we provide to help folks value their jewelry. Tom and I are experts and the industry's most trusted team. Please join us now by spreading the word to your entire email list. We'll pay you 5% of the total payout, which on average would be $50 per transaction. 100 transactions is $5,000 in your pocket. We'd rather put our marketing dollars in your pocket and more money in your referrals pocket. Go to TigerMetalExchange.com and click on the Become a Partner button to join our team. Let's start a revolution, folks. We can't do it without you. TigerMetalExchange.com, the only click you need to make.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Give the gift of silver. This holiday season, TFNN and Great Panther Silver want to give you the gift of silver. From now until December 30th, TFNN will hold a drawing once a day, 5 days a week, business days only, and one lucky entrant will receive one of these beautiful coins that we will mail to whomever you desire. Winning one of these extraordinary coins could not be easier. There's no contest and no gimmicks, just a simple drawing, allowing you to give the gift of silver this holiday season. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for joining us. And as you can see, I've got a guest here right next to me.
That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
What's happening, brother?
Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes. And no, this is not the Money Master Show. We're actually trying to get a interview set up with Graham Briggs, who's the CEO
of Harmony
Gold.
Yeah.
And so if we're able to get him on the line, we think what we have here is a little... you know how we have daylight savings time, we get off daylight savings time.
Right.
You know, we might have had a technical difficulty, if you will.
8:15 instead of 9:15.
You know,
we'll see.
Yeah,
no doubt.
yeah, which is really crazy. You know, why do we do the daylight savings time?
It has
thing
something
still?
to do with dairy farmers.
Dairy farmers.
Yeah, seriously. I
Really?
mean, they end up making either. It's big money. It's either $1 billion or $2 billion more because those cows, the way they wake up and the way they have to get milked.
And that's the first time that I've heard that one. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Because I had heard, you know, at one point in time it was because of a way to be able to save energy or what have you in schools in the summertime, you know, or what have you. But the reality is, you know, those institutions, they're not, I don't think they're micromanaging their air conditioning systems and things of that sort.
Well, they're not in this building.
In this building, yeah.
Folks,
This is a private one.
You should see this. This is pretty wild. We're in a Class A building downtown.
Absolutely.
Clearwater. And what ends up happening is that the sun's so hot in the summer that, you know, they have to spend quite a bit of money on the air conditioning. There's no two ways about it, right?
Yes, for sure.
And we have actually a couple bigger air conditioners in here to make sure that we stay cool.
Yes.
But the craziest part is that they don't have it situated in either the summer or the winter, because sometimes in the winter, not in the winter, in the fall, you got to walk around here with a coat on. It's like, you know, it's like so crazy. It's like,
no, it is, and it's a lot like London, where you can experience all 4 seasons in one day. That's not anything bad, but I've been over to London a number of times, and literally you can get all 4 seasons in one actual day. And around here, folks, you know, sometimes when I do the 3 hours or what have you, I'll leave here and I've got to go run my hands underneath the sink getting hot water.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. You know, and then if it's overcast out there. But, you know, I know folks don't want to hear about our weather patterns. Although, what is kind of cool is that this week I saw where they actually have now formally opened up the vehicle assembly building at NASA. You know, I've talked a little bit about my NASA stories, if you will. And, folks, it is an amazing building. Now, you talk about having to regulate temperature. The building is so tall that if they don't regulate it properly, you can actually get a cloud formation up at the top of the building.
A cloud formation?
Yes. Can you imagine that?
They think they're at Disneyland.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So they really have to regulate what goes on inside that building. So it's $25. You should absolutely take the tour. In fact, they even have one of the space shuttles that are there right now, getting ready to go out to a museum in California or something. I know we've got some listeners that listen to us that are getting ready to come down for the Thanksgiving holiday vacation.
Sweet.
I know, because I've gotten some emails, and that's a trip. In fact, I'm going to respond back to them and tell them they really should take that trip, because getting next to the space shuttle like that, and then going through that building and everything,
I want to get by there myself.
That's a pretty cool tour.
Hey, King Doll's on the move again.
Oh, yeah, I was just so sorry I didn't find time this weekend to get my Burger King hat, but I'm going to go out today and get it for sure. Well, you know what's cool is that we were talking about I've been talking about the Burger King crown, right?
Right.
Okay. And I don't watch a ton of TV sports for sure.
Yes.
On the weekends.
That was a good weekend.
And it was. Man, those Oregon Ducks. That's a football team. They beat Stanford. They who had the longest winning streak going. But
really?
Yeah. But here's the cool thing. I can't remember what it was I was watching. It was a Burger King commercial, and it showed the crowns. So the crowns must still be out there. Remember, I was asking Rick or somebody in Longwood about it, and But the cool thing is that I've never really talked about it till you start talking about King Dollar, right? And then all of a sudden, there it is, a television commercial that comes on that tells me.
I'll tell you,
there it is.
It's resilient. I mean, right now, it's going to be interesting. I did the numbers on the weeklies, right?
Okay.
So on the weeklies, folks, okay, you're coming into the top of the range. You're coming into the top of the range across all the indices with 50% lighter volume.
Right,
I mean, folks, the way that supply and demand goes, okay, when you're busting into highs or lows, when you have a contraction that's that dramatic, you're going down the other side. When you're going to bust them with conviction, what ends up happening is that the volume goes up versus going down. In this case, we've gone down dramatically.
Yeah.
So it's going to be wild watching this, because we know that what we've been in is that it couldn't take out the lows.
Right.
Consolidation continues.
Absolutely. Folks, we'll be right back. 877-927-6648 to get the Dow futures down 11, NASDAQ futures down 5, ES&P down 5 as well. Be right back.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in the equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose, and then think about this. Now you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Pick up your phone now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. It's an $850 value. Just call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, at 1-800-949-8207. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. So call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-800-949-8207. $99 installation charge. 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 a month. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now. 1-800-949-8207. That's 1-800-949-8207.
Did you know that the price of gold is up over 24% this year, while the GDX, the Market Vectors Gold Miners ETF, is actually down 1.4% this year? Not all gold stocks are created equal, and not all gold stocks move with the price of gold. In October, Tom O'Brien recommended a buy of FCX in his gold report, and only 6 trading days later advised his clients to close the position, profiting almost 22% in this one trade. During the same 6 trading days, the price of gold was barely up 5%. Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives investors the inside edge they need to profit in this gold market. Each Monday morning, Tom issues a gold market update at around 9:30 a.m., then issues a full report each Tuesday afternoon. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. To order your gold report with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to TFNN.com today or call 877-518-9190.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, and we are off to the races. We've got the Dow is down 19 points. You got the composite down 9. S&P's down 6. Small caps down 4. And you know what? I've got up on my screen here, and yes, I lost my business partner. He was in and he's gone. Anyways, Tom will be back. We do think that the interview that originally we had set up with Graham got messed up just simply because of us going off of daylight savings time a couple weeks ago. But no despair here. Now, what I've got up on my screen, and why I want you watching this on TigerTV, I've got the S&P 500, and what I want to show you, if you were listening to last week's shows, and hopefully you were, what I was showing there was this current up channel that the market had been in really since the October 4th low. And that low here, folks, is the swing point down here from October 4. That's the low. That's where we've got some volume. It's an untested low. And when you have an untested low in any stock, any index, whatever it is you might be trading, you want to really keep your eye on it, because typically, especially if you don't have volume to the upside, and you can absolutely say we don't have volume to the upside, then you've got an untested low. There's a real good chance that's going to be tested at some point. The question is when. So when we take a look at different charting techniques and tools that we use, it's good to take a look at channel lines that we have. And in this case here, there's a number of them that I show up on my screen. What's important, though, is the following. Number one, what's very important is the October 27th high out here, which is we had a 17P index date. The actual date of that was on the 26th, but it doesn't have to occur exactly on that date. And so the high that we've made, because this has been a high now for quite a while of time, how about 10 sessions or so going forward from there, that's a very important high. And it's a high that I don't expect will be taken out anytime soon. Now, also, what we did was we came out of that channel line on the 9th. And, we've had tremendous volatility. Volatility is here to stay. It's going to be here for a while, if you will. We broke out of that channel line, that uptrend channel line, and what I said was that it was very likely that we would go test the bottom of that area. And that's exactly what we did on Friday, and kind of a dangerous thing from this standpoint. We tested that on lighter volume. If you were a bull, you wanted to see a test on if you follow volume, if you believe in volume, if you believe that you would pay more for something that's in demand, then you want to see prices go up on volume. If you're not a volume follower and you say, hey, if there's nobody, as Tom says, in the store, but I want to go pay more for whatever's they have, then so be it. But that's really not the way that you think. That's not the way that you shop, and it's not the way that you should be shopping for the markets. And that's why you should be taking a look at volume analysis when you are taking a look at what's going on here. And so what we've also done that's kind of a little bit of a divergence here, and there's always divergences in the marketplace, is what you can see is you can see this red cone shape, if you will, this triangle that we have created, and it's really a kind of our trading range has gotten narrower and narrower at this point. And what we're taking a look at is, we're in this sideways consolidation going back here from the August time frame through October, and then we broke out above that consolidation range, and then what we've done since we've broken above that, we've gotten into a much narrower trading range. Now, typically, when you see a triangle like this form, folks, what that typically means is that typically will go ahead and break out to the direction as you came into that triangle. In this case here, our direction was heading higher. So what we've got is this divergence of a normal triangle pattern. You see it. You can go back and take a look at it on other charts, and you would typically, when you break that, you would break to it would be a continuation pattern, if you will. And when you do break, you should break to the upside. But the problem is, it's going into this very powerful 17 planetary index date, which right now are the highs of October 27th. So you want to watch that. Right now, the markets are relatively flat. Dow down 4, S&P's down 4, composite down 6, and we'll be back in just a few moments for a treat.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Give the gift of silver. This holiday season, TFNN and Great Panther Silver want to give you the gift of silver. From now until December 30th, TFNN will hold a drawing once a day, 5 days a week, business days only, and one lucky entrant will receive one of these beautiful coins that we will mail to whomever you desire. Winning one of these extraordinary coins could not be easier. There's no contest and no gimmicks, just a simple drawing, allowing you to give the gift of silver this holiday season. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how. Hi folks, Steve Rhodes here. Tom O'Brien and I need your help. Together, let's change the cash for gold industry once and for all. Now is the time to unleash the game changer, and that's you folks. We've all seen the power of viral marketing. It's overthrown dictators, and now it's time to rid the thieves in this cash for gold industry. Together, we can change this industry in a heartbeat. You know about our industry-leading payouts, our free tools, our video valuation, and the education that we provide to help folks value their jewelry. Tom and I are experts and the industry's most trusted team. Please join us now by spreading the word to your entire email list. We'll pay you 5% of the total payout, which on average would be $50 per transaction. 100 transactions is $5,000 in your pocket. We'd rather put our marketing dollars in your pocket and more money in your referrals pocket. Go to TigerMetalExchange.com and click on the Become a Partner button to join our team. Let's start a revolution, folks. We can't do it without you. TigerMetalExchange.com, the only click you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow flat, composite down 3, S&P still down 4. Although it's not really changing that much. I think I'm having a little feed problem. I absolutely am, because that's not changing. So I'm having a little bit of a feed problem. I got to get that figured out. But what I do have up on my screen is some stuff is working, some isn't. Right now, I'm taking a look at IBM. So I know that the Oracle of Omaha was featured on CNBC this morning for 3 hours. And one of the things that I caught just as I was on my way out to the office was the fact that he said that he's been accumulating IBM. And, a lot of folks like to jump on board one of Warren's trains. So if you want to jump on board that train, what you want to do is you want to find a better place to do it than right here at these highs where you have got a light volume. So I thought I would go ahead and pull up the chart, and what we'll do is we'll take a look at, where are your caution areas, and where is it, if you want to be on Warren's train, where is it that would be the better spot for you to buy? And at this stage, since the secret is out of the bag, if you will, and I don't know what percentage interest he actually has inside IBM, but I'm not sure, what he actually has in there. I just kind of caught it as I was going out the door, and it's kind of unusual for him to put that information out there, outside of just normal filings that he might have to do. So right now you've got IBM trading at 189.49, and what IBM did do is you had a IBM gap down on October 18th, and the high there, folks, was 179.38, low 176. And what it did was that it closed the night before in the 190 area, closed actually at 186.59. So your real, if you will, sign of strength, where you've got a change in shareholder ownership, was really right in that area, and that area hasn't been tested, if you will. And so, if you were looking to get into IBM, that might be a first place for it to get into. And what you can also see is there was a little sign of strength, if you will, on July 19th when IBM gapped up, and it gapped up on 132 million shares. The day before, traded 8.8 million shares. I'm sorry, not 132, 13 million shares. And so in the high on that was 185.21. You're trading above that right now. You've gotten above that on very light volume. If you take a look at my screen, there's a red line that goes across the bottom, shows what the actual volume is in IBM right now. What IBM is trying to do is trying to take on the swing points, if you will, from October 14th, the high there, 190.53. And on that day, you did 5.3 million shares. The following day, when you came off of the top there, you came off of the top with more volume, if you will, 8.7 million shares. The high on that, 190.16. You've not traded up to that stage just yet. You've got 1.3 million shares. If we just simply go down and take a look at this on the open, you're going to have a lot of folks that are going to try to get on board one of Warren's trains. But what I would do is I would wait for this thing to come back, to a breakout area. If we go take a look at what's hot and what's not, right now you've got CRM, which is Salesforce Innovation. We'll pull that up on the charts here. You've got that trading up, trading right now at 135.15. That is going out and attacking the October 28th high. You did 3.8 million shares that day. So far in the first 15 minutes of trading, you got 560,000 shares traded. So looks to me like you may have the volume as it goes and it tries to attack that area. Now here's a real nice chart from the standpoint of where you have a high volume, low area. And if you take a look at CRM, you're looking at the August 19th swing point where you had 9.6 million shares. Actually, the following day, you got a little bit lower, which had 5 million shares. Now, when we came down to those swing points, so the market moved up, made an ABC pattern on the way up, or close to an ABC pattern. Let's go ahead and draw that in using my ABC tool, if you will. and it did it perfectly. Your A point was that low from August 23rd. Your B point was the high on August 31st at 130. You came down to the 116.72 level on September 6th. The 1-to-1 A to B equals C to D gives you 137.48, which it hit 136.63, 136.99 on September 19th. It completes an ABC, and when you complete an ABC, you're usually going to do something different. Maybe you're going to just move sideways in a consolidation range anywhere, from the top to maybe to the 0.382 to the 0.618, pull back on a retracement. That would be normal. In this case here, Salesforce Innovation came all the way back to test that high volume low. When I opened up the show, or when we were doing the second segment, I talked about that October 4th low, talked about the channels that we're in, talked about the P-index date, how important that is, what that roadmap actually means. And if you take a look at Salesforce Innovation, what it did was it came back and it tested out that area with 3.2 million shares on October 4th. Same October 4th date, okay, in this case here, but on October 4th, what Salesforce Innovation, what CRM was doing, and it got down to a low of 109.28. It was coming back and testing out an area that had 9.6 million, 9.2 million, and 5 million shares. Again, that low was originally 109.22. Where does it get down to when it tests it? It gets down to 109.28, rejects that area, and then moves higher. So what could we see? We can see that, it pulled back on October 26th. That might have just been a market. It was pulling back on volume, had the same volume, if you will, coming in the following day, and it looks like what Salesforce Innovation is trying to do here, we'll pull it back a little bit further, but it's trying to make a new A to B equals C to D, and if it does that, and it gets over the B point, that's that October 28th time frame, you're trading inside it right now. If it gets over that on volume, meaning more than 3.8 million shares, it'll get all the way up to the 155.53, which is what I see as the next high out here. That may be its all-time high. And that's only got a volume up there of 1.9 million shares. So you can see not a lot of conviction as Salesforce Innovation was up at the top. You had 2 million shares up at the top. You had, how many shares do we have down here at the bottom? You had 9 million shares, 5 million shares down at the bottom. So volume, folks, is really important. It absolutely is important. And it's more important now when you're taking a look at swing points, because the money game out there with regard to QE1 and QE2 has stopped. The only other money game that could be out there that I'm aware of right now, truly the money game where you'd be putting more money in the currency, more money out there in the environment, and if you put more money out there, prices will rise, would be if in Europe they figure out how to sell their bonds and they can convince you, and apparently they can't convince Warren Buffett to buy their bonds. If he won't buy them, you won't buy them, who will buy them? 877-927-6648. You got the Dow off 35. S&P's off 8. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
As Tom says, go long America. Now you can join TFNN and Barnes & Noble to keep money in your community. Purchase Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, your ultimate trading mastery system, before December 31st from your local Barnes & Noble store. And you will be given access to not just one, but 2 exceptional archived courses. Tiger Scaling, the Tiger Butterfly, and Gartley. The Art of Timing the Trade is more than just a book. It's an educational journey that will help you understand the Wall Street greed cycle and learn how to recognize profit from genuine price moves. So, for the cost of just under $30, you will receive in excess of $300 in trading education from Tom O'Brien, TFNN, and Barnes & Noble. And you will be helping to support an important local business, your local bookstore. If you do not have a Barnes & Noble in your community, then go to your local bookstore. We'll be sure to work with them to keep your purchase local. So let's support our local businesses. Keep money in your community and get a great education. But be sure to act now, because you have until December 31st to take advantage of this opportunity. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to your trading and investing. The Money Masters. Next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, and folks, we got a great guest for you this morning, coming right in from across the ocean. We get our man, Mr. Graham Briggs. Graham is the CEO of Harmony Gold. We happen to own Harmony Gold. Graham Briggs, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Tom. Yourself?
Good, thank you. Well, listen, I appreciate the time. I know, you've been cranking it out with Harmony. Looking at those last numbers, talk to me about your numbers first, and I'd like to talk about exactly how many mines we have going right now.
Tom, yeah, the numbers are quite interesting, and you'll remember that, I don't know when it was, maybe a year and a half ago, we were talking and you were comparing the exchange rates, the dollar and the rand and the gold price.
Oh, yes.
And that was, what you were talking about. You're saying, well, what happens if the rand weakens a bit and the gold price goes up? Well, Tom, your rand weakened a bit and the gold price went up. So the gold price was doing famously somewhere around $1,700 an ounce.
Yes.
The rand weakened a little bit from sort of 7 down to a little bit more, and currently it's trading closer to 8. So in rand terms, of course, the South African operations are doing very famously, and our last quarter, our rand gold price went up 20%, and the bottom line profits went up 45%. So that's the sort of gearing and leverage you get in in a company like ours when the exchange rate and the gold price move in unison.
Yes. You know, it's amazing, Graham, in the United States right now, I basically, we were talking about the dollar, as you just said, and, you know, the dollar, when I first started, you know, the gold report in 2000 was at 121, went down to 70, and now what I actually say in the United States is that it's king dollar. You know, people think it's going to, you know, the dollar, basically, my take is it bottomed 2 years ago, so it's going to be interesting here going forward. But you can see it, you know, when you came out with your numbers, I says, there she is, she's cranking. Now, talk to me about, you know, there's one thing, you have the whole South African operation going, of course, with, you know, millions of ounces, but you have a couple new projects that are absolutely incredible also.
Yeah, Tom, we've been in the last few years spending capital on these operations, building basically new mines. They started off sinking shafts or developing depth to these shafts. And now they're starting to come into production. So a mine like Doornkop, I know that might be a difficult name to pronounce, is now the last quarter has made a profit after capital, which is great news. It means it's actually got some free cash now. Kusasalethu has had 3 good quarters where it's been producing, you know, free cash after all its capital. And so this has been happening through these various mines that we have in South Africa. And then we still have the good old stable producers, and they are producing some nice profits.
And when we take a look at your expansion, I mean, I know that the last time we were talking, the expansion that you've done is absolutely incredible, and I guess it's going to take about 2 or 3 more years to get your biggest mine up and going, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So at the moment, well, last year we produced 1.3 million ounces. This year we should be producing somewhere between 1.45 and 1.55 million ounces. And that builds up to close to 2 million ounces in our financial year 2015, which is our financial year ends in June. So that's where we'll get to. So we're building up production at a steady rate between now and then.
Now that's pretty incredible because, you know, if you, well, maybe not in South Africa, but when sometimes the perception, when you read many articles, it's saying that, well, the South Africa miners basically are producing less, when in fact you're producing more now.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a case of we've invested this money into these newer assets and therefore building up in production. If you don't invest in these new mines, then obviously you eventually deplete the ore body that you can access, and then that's the end of the mine. So we've been countering that trend, but Tom, the exciting part is, of course, the timing is just brilliant with this gold price and with the slight weakening of the rand.
Well, you know, I tell many folks, Graham, I mean, I absolutely understand it because even when gold was at 325 and the rand was pushing 8 or 9, I remember you paid a dividend, so it was like, hold it. I was looking at the price of gold, I'm saying to myself, oh my God, the rand is going the same place. And, you know, even gold, if it backed off $100 or $200, not the end of the world. Talk to me about the Wafe project. I mean, that thing is a monster, right?
Yeah, it's a big project, Tom. It's a copper gold deposit. It's now got a resource of 1 billion tons. The copper grade in what's called the Goldpoo deposit, the Goldpoo deposit is about 870 million tons. It's over 1%. And it's got it's probably about 0.8 of a gram gold in it. So it is a great project, and we're progressing through pre-feasibility right now. That should be completed by June next year. And we are, you know, going on quite famously with the development of that project in the various sort of parts that one has to do when you start building a mine, and at the same time exploring the region around that, and it's probably got some more potential that we can see. So it's really proving to be a great deposit, and we've got some good partners. We've got Newcrest Mining from Australia in as partners, and we're really looking forward to progressing this through the various study stages.
It's got to be great that not only that you have something in the future, but when you start kicking off the type of cash and/or rand that you're kicking off right now, I guess when you first got that mine, you weren't expecting or maybe you were expecting kicking off this much cash, because that puts another dynamic on the whole company, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It essentially says that our South African assets will be able to fund all our growth in Papua New Guinea, because that will be a fairly costly exercise in capital expenditure. But right now, with the timing going, it'll be great. We'll be able to continue to pay our dividends. We'll be continue to able to invest in Papua New Guinea, both in the exploration, and we'll be able to build that mine from our cash flow. So it's great news.
Now, what does it feel like, Graham, that that you've taken the company, you basically had assets that you wanted to move out, you moved those assets out, you have the thing cranking like a little Ferrari right now. So give me an idea. I mean, I know because how much work had to be done. So give me an idea, just company-wise, and I'm sure many of the workers that you have, because you employ so many people, there's got to be a great attitude there, right? Period, inside some of those communities, right, going forward.
Well, I think so, Tom. It has to be after so many years of slogging it out, and really going through some tough times. There has to be sort of a change. There's certainly, when I speak to shareholders, I see a little bit of a smile on their face.
Yes.
And that's that's a good impression from me. But that sort of attitude must be permeating through the company to say that all the hard work is now paying off, and we're in a good space.
Well, it's amazing education-wise, I guess, in the United States for sure, but across the world, many of the gold, silver equities basically are not at highs. People are wondering, it's like, oh my God, what's it going to take? We're talking a $1,700 price. And where your equity is coming up to that high, and I can tell you, you can. Well, I mean, I always do this price and volume deal, but you can see that there's demand. There's demand inside that, because every time you're moving up to higher prices, that volume accelerates. So that's got to be a neat feeling.
Yeah, I think the general sort of shareholder hasn't really factored in the new gold price scenario into the equities.
Yes.
They are starting to focus on them now. I think there are some gold mining companies that are sort of paying regular dividends or promising to gear it to the gold price. There are other companies like ours which now can afford our big growth and our growth potential. And so, the new gold price is not necessarily being factored into the share price as yet, but I think this will happen over time. People are very suspicious of an increase in the gold price like it has done. They call it a bubble and hope, some people hope that it'll burst, but, a lot of people don't believe that. They believe that this is there's a fundamental value here, and it is showing, and it's not going to burst at all. So once that number gets factored into the new scenario, then we'll see the equities go up, I think.
You know what's so neat? Like when I look at a bubble to me really has to be like 5, 6, 7 times what something's worth. But when you look at the gold price, it's almost across the board, it seems that it's cost $1,000 to get gold out of the ground. So in that context, it doesn't seem that is that expensive. I mean, I tell the story, Graham, on the air. When I was a kid, I used to go and get milk, bread, and cigarettes for my mother every day. It was 98 cents. Now milk, bread, and cigarettes, like $15. I mean, so time basically, does a lot of different things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is much more expensive to get gold out of the ground than it has been for many years, of course, and that's just not here in South Africa. It's certainly internationally.
Yes.
The price of fuel, the price of steel, all those sort of things have been going up, and that comes down into the bottom line of a production unit. So, the extraction price has certainly been going up. And also, just to compound that, of course, grades have been going down on a lot of operations. So lower grades, higher costs mean less gold for the same sort of effort and amount of money.
Absolutely. Listen, folks, come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to see the Harmony gold banner right there. You can hit that banner. It will bring you right through the actual presentation. Graham, it's so good to have you back. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the hard work you're doing out there. And, of course, there's nothing like, the Rand dollar, the U.S. dollar in gold. And, of course, we look forward to having you back.
Thanks a lot, Tom, and enjoy your day.
Thank you so much, Graham. That's Graham Briggs, CEO of Harmony Gold. Have a great one, Graham. Have a safe one. You stay right there, folks. We are going to be coming right back.
I think we're live.
That's a beautiful thing. Welcome, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien.
Your Money Man.